All right, middleweights are ready to go. Here's your tail of the tape. Jotko still just 27. David Branch will be 36 in September. Both fighters 6'1" tall. Both weighed in at 185 pounds. Slight reach advantage of an inch for David Branch. And now for the official introductions, we go inside the octagon to Bruce Buff.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are live from Dallas, Texas for UFC 211. Miocic versus Dos Santos 2. And now, this fight is 3 rounds in the UFC middleweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, a mixed martial artist holding professional record, 20 wins, 3 losses. He stands 6 feet 1 inch tall, weighing in at 185 pounds. Fighting out of Brooklyn, New York, David Branch. And now introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, a mixed martial artist holding professional record, 19 wins, 1 loss. He stands 6 feet 1 inch tall, weighing in at 185 pounds. Fighting out of Warnetka, Poland, presenting the number 9 ranked middleweight contender in the world, Krzysztof Jotko! And when the action begins, our referee in charge, Don Turnage.
Don Turnage, our referee for this main card opener. Chrissy Blair, thank you very much. Ready to go on pay-per-view, and stay ready on Twitter tonight, ladies and gentlemen. We'll have voting polls throughout the UFC 211 main card at UFC. All right, we are underway. Chris Jotko in the red trunks out of the southpaw stance. David Branch, the orthodox fighter, is in white.
Krzysztof immediately showing good distance. Got that wide stance. He's a very well-schooled striker. You could see that immediately from his movement.
Really good at managing the range, making sure that David Branch doesn't get too comfortable. But you see Branch trying to, it's always funny watching the beginning of these fights as guys try to really set the tone of the fight and the pace at which we are going to fight. And right now you kind of see Jotko being a little more successful at that, having Branch on his back foot.
He's threatening. And if David Branch has watched tape on him, he knows that. And once you're in with him and you see his movements, you realize there's some danger.
And at least in his UFC career, Jotko has been very difficult to hit. Great striking defense. Early take, that's a good sign for Branch.
It's a very good sign for Branch. And Branch is elite on the ground. Very, very strong submission game. And I would think that he wanted to go to it right away.
That takedown was timed beautifully.
He just cracked him with the left hand. There's an open guard here for Jotko. And Branch just softening him up with punches, controlling him on the ground.
Nice elbows.
Yeah. And Jotko putting that right leg on the left hip of Branch. Going to do a little bit better defensively with that. But really what he's got to do here is control the posture. He's not going to catch David Branch in a sloppy armbar. He's just not. When you get to catch him, you're going to earn it.
Yep, you put that foot on the hip to wait for an opportunity to push off and try to get back to your feet, especially when you feel as though you're the better striker in the fight.
And Branch is just completely controlling the top position. No threat whatsoever being swept or reversed. He's got a gigantic advantage in the grappling here. And what I would like to see him do, though, is immediately press and start trying to pass the guard. He's controlling him and holding him so well. Allowing him to get to the cage is a big mistake.
Big mistake. Guys use that cage so well to get back to their feet.
Yeah, but he's going to take his back from here. If Jotko's not careful, Branch is taking his back. And
Jotko needs to take his right arm and actually reach it back over David Branch's head so that his back is now against the fence again, which will give him a better opportunity to defend if and when David tries to go back down to secure another takedown.
Jotko defending right in his corner.
He's hit it.
He had a half Nelson on it.
And Jotko turned it around. See, Branch missed out on a gigantic opportunity there. Having him on the ground, he should have, in my opinion, he should have immediately tried to pass to a dominant position.
And advance a little bit more, yeah.
And move towards the submission game. The submission game is so solid.
But again,
Fight fans, check out the UFC store on your mobile device. Get your favorite fighter gear and more. Shop now. Receive 15% off during tonight's fight. Use code UFC211 and start saving today.
David Branch went old school Marco Huas foot stomp on him.
David Branch is doing a good job with his head position and his underhook there. You see him with the left leg inside, the left underhook up, and his head is trying to stay lower than Jotko. Oh, there you go, takedown by Jotko.
Takedown, beautiful, look at that.
But I mean, is this the best position for him? No, he needs to break. But right here, he needs to find separation, huh?
Oh, nice knee to the body, but it looks like he's trying to make a point.
Yeah. Well, you make a point or you win the fight. What do you do? you give yourself the best opportunity to win the fight, and knowledge would say that Jotko is the better guy on the outside of range.
Well, he could also feel that David Branch is slowing down a little bit. Look, there was a low blow there. What happened? They're letting it go. He could feel that David Branch is maybe pacing himself a little. Maybe there's some nerves involved. He hasn't been in the UFC in a long time.
Jotko is the owner of a brown belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu under Pahumpa, but certainly not on Branch's level. But looks like Jotko's looking for some separation, courtesy of the referee here.
Sometimes you don't have to be on someone's level just to avoid stuff.
Yes.
You're just purely on a defensive level.
You're breaking.
Branch is so strong on the ground.
J.A., you said he's looking for some separation, but it's on him to actually get himself off the side of the octagon. He needs to lift his left underhook to try to turn and get his back towards the center to break space.
Branch trying to get that takedown. Beautiful transition to a knee there by Branch.
And right back where he wants Jotko, back against the fence.
Short time, Dave.
Double underhooks now for Dave Branch.
So a good look to end the first round here for the returning David Branch.
Couldn't have gone better if you're Team Branch.
What are you saying here?
Well, I could definitely go a little better.
What are you
Well, I
saying?
mean, knock him out. But I'm saying if you're just coming back and you win the round against the top 10 guy in your division.
I'm asking you
went
what
well.
we're saying.
But you're right. He could have stiffed him. He could knock him out. Or submit him.
Down.
Or submit
How
him.
you feel, champ? How you feel?
Good. Just keep him guessing, okay? Just keep him guessing.
Okay.
Keep him guessing, up and down. Hands and feet moving the whole time, okay? Keep them hands high. Is that okay? Your kick's going to be coming, okay?
How you feel? Give me some deep breaths. Give me some breaths. Suck it up. Suck it up. One, come on. Come on. Two, come on. Three, all right? He ain't doing nothing, David. He's not doing nothing. He tried hard, all right?
Okay.
When you box,
Let's go. Second down. Let's go. Second down.
Injustice 2, fight as your favorite DC heroes and villains in the ultimate super-powered showdown, available Tuesday on PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. All right, round 2 here. You heard Leonard Wilson in the corner of David Branch. Jotko in red, Branch is in white. Jotko trying to feint his way into striking range.
You can see David Branch wants to let that right hand fly, but I don't know if it's something he's seen in tape that if he gets over aggressive, the counters and everything, but you can see he wants to let it fly, but he's very hesitant. Maybe it's the worry of that body kick from Jotko. As you said, John, he's one of the best kickers that we have in the UFC.
Jotko closes distance here.
Again, he actually is the guy that needs to be in space, but he's starting the engagements here in the clinch.
It is beautiful spinning kick, spinning back fist rather.
Looked like maybe Branch didn't absorb all of it. 1 minute gone by here, round 2.
Branch kicking low.
Brief pause in the action here to give Jotko a minute, or up to 5 if he needs him.
Accidental, so just watch it again, okay?
Is that the second time that's happened?
Well, Jotko need him the first time.
Right.
And now Branch just actually kicked him right in the cup.
Soft warning from the referee, and we're back underway.
Just excellent distance control by Jotko. He slides back with that wide stance. Look at that, just slips back.
Right out of the way of damage.
Yeah, but always in a position to come back.
Some people, when they're going defense, they're on defense with no ability to counter. These good high-level strikers back out just enough to where if you're close, you're in range for all of their offense, whereas you're off balance.
slipped in there.
Just the 6th significant strike landed for Jotko. There's 7.
And you see, that's why David Branch isn't committing too much to the striking. But this is good for him, though, as he traps Jotko towards the side. Now he can change levels. Even if he doesn't get a takedown, he puts himself in a position to actually get to that clinch.
Is it the Branch takedown game that's giving Jotko seemingly some pause to throw that left kick? Not as active with it tonight.
Well, the first time he did, right, John? Was that a kick or a knee? The first time he did throw a power shot to the body, he got taken down and got controlled, you know, so maybe that's making him hesitant.
2.5 minutes gone by here in this middle round.
David Branch worked long and hard to get back to the UFC, and he seems a bit hesitant to engage here. There it goes.
Overhand right. Jotko did a fantastic job of getting back to his feet, but nice overhand right to a double by Branch.
Oh, he clipped him with the right hand on the break. Branch took a deep breath there and reset.
We talked about this earlier, Joe. You know, you get that takedown, you want some time on top. You know, a guy gets right back up, it's discouraging.
Jotko caught him with the left hand again.
Nice jab by Branch.
He's got a good one. Jotko quick with that left hand.
He is now starting to fight a little bit more at his pace. You know, he's being a little more active, and David Branch now goes to the clinch. And with a minute and a half, if Jotko allows himself to get stuck on the side of the octagon here, he could still lose this round.
Work off my cage. Work off my cage.
Well, Jotko again campaigning to the referee.
Break to the center.
Wow.
Let's go. Break.
Why do that? I mean, the referee just got tricked. That's exactly what happened there. He's like, come on, he's not doing anything. Meanwhile, he's holding you there.
And he was there for 5 seconds.
5 seconds.
That referee is easily influenced.
I would start to play him a lot more.
You might question it. Yeah.
I'd always look at him in every situation. Hey, ref, you want to do something today?
Yeah, you might want to question him anytime something's going. It's a little weird.
Starts to go sideways. You're about to get knocked out. Come on, ref.
You fighters, do you guys study referee tendencies in your coaches?
No.
Do you have certain referees you don't enjoy working under? Without saying any names?
Yeah, I'm not saying anything.
Whoa, wheel kick. Just barely missed.
Branch to the body lock, yep.
Beautiful.
Jotko with a nice whizzer to get back to his feet.
Nice, very nicely done.
You see the work that Jotko has done on his ground game, his get-ups. 20 seconds now to go in round 2. Advantage Branch, though, at least on paper, in terms of the significant strikes landed, 30-13 to this point.
Faked the knee
10
and
seconds,
came in
guys,
with a
come
punch.
on.
He just got a real good sense of distance.
But that's what he's going to have to do. Straight strikes at this point are not working on David Branch. He needs to mix it up.
Break.
10 minutes in the books.
Yeah.
7,
a little bit uneventful.
6.
In a weird fight. It's a weird fight to
4,
judge. You know, first
3,
round we know David
2,
Branch could have possibly won that one. But this one, it was
a
close.
lot
You know, both
better.
had their moments.
The last time you spin
It's
with your
these
back
types of
against the
fights that are
cage,
dangerous.
the better you're gonna light him up. Okay? We won this round.
Time to try. Show some and then go for cross. Show some and go for second one. Okay? You're gonna get his distraction. Distract him and then push him. Distract him, go for knee. Distract him.
You gotta let your hands go.
You gotta work him. You gotta work. Do what you do. Punches and bunches, baby. When you get a listen, we ain't come this far to lose no fights.
I know.
You hear what I'm saying? So you push him. This kid can't beat you.
I know.
All right. Now step up this pace. All right. He's trying to steal the fight. All right.
A million times. Let's go.
Come on.
DC, what's the mentality of a fighter in this situation? Somewhat uneventful at times, perhaps that's mutual respect, but if you're Chris Jotko right now, 19-1, I mean, your 5-fight winning streak here in the UFC's on the line, gotta be urgent, right?
You have to find a sense of urgency, John. You cannot allow for a fight like that that's so slow-paced to cost you, you know, your record at this point, you know, especially all the momentum he's gained cracking the top 10 and fighting a guy that's been out of the UFC for a while.
Branch corner calling for him to be more active once he assumes the clinch. Jotko one and done once again.
Great footwork by Jotko. There's a nice leg kick by Branch. Both guys seem a little bit more urgent coming into this third round.
But a lot of it, you know, on the side of Jotko is feints. You know, he's feinting, but not really throwing still. You know, he's feinting, He's moving his head. He's showing phenomenal defense. But based on activity, David Branch has thrown 15, 20 punches so far, and I don't know if Jotko's thrown any. See?
Yeah, he's waiting too much.
Yeah, he's waiting too much. He's watching.
Jotko goes high. Branch doing a nice job getting that right arm up.
Kick to the body by Branch.
Jotko moved into the top 10 after a win over Talis Leites as an underdog last November in Brazil. But getting all he can handle from David Branch tonight. Under 4 minutes now to go to decide this one.
It's just in these types of fights where it's so close and the action's so slow, you really don't know who's winning. And then somebody's going to be very upset with the judging. But it's on the fighter to actually get going.
And as Jotko engages, his corner calls for him to disengage.
He doesn't seem to want to, actually. There are times when he has his back to the center and he's not backing out. He's like right here. All he has to do is unlock his hands and back out. But he stays in his position, engaging in his grappling. And this is David Branch's world. I mean, he can do this. You know, he can stand in here and clinch. He can grapple. He's fine.
Exhausting clinch work here. Dallas crowd getting a little bit restless here tonight. They've been spoiled by the prelims.
Yeah, they really have.
You know, a lot of times I will really get upset at. I'll get really upset at crowds, but I tend to agree with him on this one. You know, this could be a fight with a little more action.
They're canceling each other out.
Branch stalking here.
It's like you said, David's such a good grappler, but he cannot hold Jotko down. And Jotko's such a good striker, but if he tries to strike, well, you know, he gets taken down. So it's like they've canceled each other.
All right, now he's got him down. Let's see if David Branch shows a little bit more urgency. With a minute 40 to go, it's not a lot of time to work. He's going to have to pass guard very quickly if he wants to get something done. He's trying to soften him up again, but I would like to see him, honestly, just try to step over those legs.
Takedowns now. Branch 3.
Looking for choke.
Landed on 7 attempts.
Looking for Darce. Slide that right arm under the chin. Keep a good eye on his hands. If his hand slips up and gets a hold of his... nothing now.
And Jotko's in on the
Jotko's going
single
to take
leg.
him now. Look at this. So in that position means Branch had a very brief opening to try to close something up. And now, you know, Branch going to have to hammer fist to the thigh.
Hey, this referee's a little quick on the trigger. I mean, this guy. This guy's like, I don't want to see you guys clinching at all.
He wants some action.
Less than a minute now to
David
go.
Branch just led with the head.
In a round, though, in which not much has happened. A big takedown for Branch.
Krzysztof Jotko went with that knee and the right hand over the top.
That is the type of thing that he will need to do. Mixing up and varying those techniques.
This was in a lot of ways a very cautious fight. There's a good knee to the body.
Branch able to touch Jotko there once again. Waning seconds now.
And the only real advantage that we've seen is that...
he clipped up a touch.
Nice. I was going to say the only real advantage that we've seen is that David Branch has been able to take Jotko down. Jotko hasn't been able to take him down. But like on the feet, there has never been really established a real significant advantage for either fighter. What a tough fight to score.
Well, I know Jotko complains, but ultimately you try to neutralize a striker. The clinch is your friend, the fence is your friend. I mean, as you guys said, the onus is on Jotko, I think, to get off the fence. So, Jotko
but it was
and
a
Branch,
smart move, right? Because it worked. I mean, the complaining.
Well, at least once, 1 on 4 complaints,
he caught a knee. This was early in the fight. I mean, this is very early on. It looked good for David Branch. And here's another takedown for Branch. And there's definitely way more takedowns for Branch. There's a stiff jab. And there's a spinning back kick. didn't really land very hard, but that was a very nice uppercut.
That was probably the best punch of the entire fight.
That replay was brought to you by Budweiser. This Bud's for you. So Chris Jotko came in 19-1, number 9 in the world at 185 pounds. David Branch 20-3, back in the UFC for the first time since 2011. Trying to make it 11 straight wins and potentially take Jotko's place in the middleweight top 10. Significant strikes, 46-25, advantage Branch. Total strikes, 94-51, advantage Branch. And of course the aforementioned 3 takedowns landed on 7 attempts. Jotko shot once, landed his takedown, but not the offensive explosion we have seen from Chris Jotko over his last 3 or 4 fights. Regardless, DC, I think we can agree, good to see David Branch back inside the octagon for the first time in a long time. Jotko came in slightly favored tonight at -155 against David Branch. The official decision brought to you by Metro PCS, who brings you closer than ever to the UFC on a fast nationwide 4G LTE network. Here's Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards for a decision. Jeff Mullen scores the contest, 29-28, Branch. Saldi Amato scores it, 29-28, Jotko. And Aladdin Martinez scores the contest, 29-28, for the winner by split decision, David Branch.